Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and please press the bell button so that all the notification you will get the first. Today we are going to discuss about the Fehling test. So our today lecture is going to like that one. We are going to talk about introduction of the test, what are the things we require during the test experiment that we will discuss, then principle of the test, how this reaction occurs, how the test occurs, and what are the procedures, and then some important points we will remember it. So similar to the Benedict test, Fehling test is also a test for reducing sugar. As already we are knowing the what is reducing sugar. In my previous lectures I have already discussed it. I will give information, the link for the test in I button also, as well as in the description also. So reducing sugar are those sugars which is having free aldehyde or free ketonic groups. So that is we are calling reducing sugars. With this test we can differentiate between reducing sugar and non-reducing sugars. So we have already discussed that we had a test that was called Benedict test. So on the basis of Benedict test also we can differentiate between reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. In further lecture we will see what is the difference between the Fehling test and the Benedict test, and which test is better for the differentiation of reducing sugar, non-reducing sugar. That we will discuss in the further coming lectures. Carbohydrate which is having free aldehyde and free ketone groups have a tendency, have a capacity to donate electrons, so they can reduce the metal ions from higher oxidation number to the lower oxidation number. So that is called reduction. So that's why we are calling reducing sugar, because reducing sugars are those sugars which can reduce the metal ions and itself get oxidized. So this test is detect only aldehyde. Not this test does not give positive result for the ketones. But if ketone present in the form of alpha hydroxy ketone like it is fructose, then it will give you the positive result. So the one most important point is this test is only for aldehyde. This test is for given by aldehyde, not by ketone. But if aldehyde ketone will be in case of alpha hydroxy like ketone which is present in the fructose, so that type of test will give the positive test. What we require during the test is we require a test samples, then we require the dry test tubes, we require pipettes, we require water bath or burner by which we can going to heat the mixtures, and then we require Fehling reagents. This Fehling reagents is a mixture of two reagents, that is called Fehling reagent A and Fehling reagent B. Fehling reagent A we are preparing by mixing dissolving copper sulphate in the distilled water. So we are going to take copper sulphate 34.65 gram and dissolve in the 500 ml of distilled water. Fehling solution B will be prepared by dissolving potassium hydroxide, that is a strong alkali, 125 gram, and second component will be the Rochelle salt, that is also called as sodium potassium tartarate, and it will be dissolved in 500 ml of water. So whenever we are going to perform the test, at that time we are going to mix both Fehling solution A and Fehling solution B in equal volume, and that final Fehling reagent we are going to use for our tests. Whatever component we have used here in the reagent preparation, so each component is having their own significance. Like copper sulphate we are using, the importance of copper sulphate is it gives us Cu plus 2 ion, that is cupric ion. We are using potassium hydroxide which is a strong alkali, so it makes the environment alkaline. Third component we are using Rochelle salt. The Rochelle salt normally prevents the precipitation of cupric ion as in the form of cupric hydroxide. So no copper plus 2 will form CuOH2 which is going to precipitate. So this will be stopped by Rochelle salt, as it similar things has been done in case of Benedict test by sodium citrate. Now the principle of the test is carbohydrate which is having free aldehyde or alpha hydroxy ketonic groups, they have ability to reduce the metal ions like copper, zinc, nickel, cobalt. So those metal ions can be reduced. The reduced cupric ion here in case of copper plus 2 to Cu plus 1, forms and are themselves converted to corresponding sugar acids. Like if you are using glucose, so it will be converted to gluconic acid, so that corresponding sugar will be there. So copper plus 2 will give you converted to copper plus 1, and sugar will be converted into corresponding acids. The cuprous ion combines with OH ions to form yellow cuprous hydroxides, which upon heating converted to red cuprous oxide. Like in simple form we can tell it, we are having aldehyde, that is carbohydrate, and this is CuO. How it will, we are going to get that CuO, that we will see it, and then this is from the environment, alkaline environment. So this carbohydrate is going to convert it into corresponding acid. This CuO converted into Cu2O, and this is going to be precipitated. So the color of this one is brick red, color of this one is blue. So if you are having a reducing sugar in the solution, test solution, so blue color of CuO will be converted into brick red color of Cu2O, and that is the positive indication, that is the positive test. What is the principle of the test? Like we are having Fehling reagent A, that is CuSO4 solution in distilled water. So we are having second solution, that is alkaline solution of sodium potassium tartarate. We have dissolved potassium hydroxide, we have used Rochelle salt in the distilled water, and then we have mixed these two and gave the final solution. Then this is the Rochelle salt. So the first reaction is CuSO4 in presence of alkaline environment converted into CuOH2 plus sodium sulphate. So this copper plus 2 to plus 2 only. It is no oxidation number has been changed. This CuOH2, when it will be heated, it will be converted into CuO. Again, no oxidation number is going to be changed. Same oxidation number, plus 2 to plus 2 only. Now this CuO, which is present here, is blue color, combines with carbohydrate, that is aldehyde, and converted to Cu2O. So the color of this Cu2O is red precipitate, it means brick red, and this is converted to sugar. This copper which is present here will be kept in the form of Cu plus 2 only by this Rochelle salt here. So this Rochelle salt combines with copper and keep this copper in the form of copper plus 2. Not let this copper to precipitate. So that is the significance of this Rochelle salt. How to perform the test is, we are going to take 2 ml of Fehling solution, that is 1 ml from each Fehling A and B. Then 2 ml of test solution we will mix. Both will be mixed and boiled till boiling temperature. And if color is coming brick red or yellow, it means it is a positive test. If color does not change, it means it is a negative test. Like we are seeing here, glucose and fructose have give positive test because glucose is having aldehyde, so it's positive. Fructose is having alpha hydroxy ketone, so that's why it is positive. Saccharides, they are non-reducing sugar, so it is coming negative test, negative result. There are some points which needs to be remembered, that is this reagent, Fehling reagent final is very unstable. So we are not going to mix Fehling reagent A and Fehling reagent B together before the test. At the point of test only we are going to mix them and use it. Otherwise we are going to keep them separately, prepare separately and keep separately. Second point is, we are using very strong alkali, that is potassium hydroxide. This strong alkali can destroy carbohydrates. So when you are going to use potassium hydroxide, carbohydrate can be destroyed and results will be inappropriate, will not get the correct results. Third point is, there can be chances of auto reduction which occurs and which gives us false positive results. So these are the 3 important things which needs to be remembered, and that's all about the Fehling test. So next we are going to discuss about the difference between the Benedict and Fehling test and which test is better. So thank you very much. Please follow our channel, subscribe it, and if you like, please press the bell button so that you will get all the notification before, and hope I will do your best. Thank you very much.